99.1, 99.5 FM, The Wake Up Guyana Show.
2020 be one to remember. Drive away with an Axio car from Predo Baby. With 4 different options to win, follow us on Facebook at Predo Baby South America. Predo Baby diaper is known for its premium quality and high absorbency level. It keeps your baby dry and comfortable with its stretchy waistband. Available in regular paste and pull-up pants style from newborn to stage 7. See press for details or contact us on 233-2473. Predo Baby, the diaper of the new generation.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Wake Up Guyana Show. It's a wet day. It's March, sorry, what am I saying March the 2nd? What am I doing? It's November the 2nd, and what a wet day it has been on the road. Starting, it's raining cats and dogs and a number of persons across the land. They've been reporting that waters have risen in the drains in some yards, and so whatever it is that you're doing, if you're driving on the roadway today, if you're on the roadway today, demand or you make moves to ensure that your vehicle is taking it very safely on the road. It's very dangerous, very tricky on the road out there today. So there are many things to talk about today, and we want to get right down into it. As we speak right now, of course, the numbers have been climbing. It's climbing and it's climbing. It's 128 persons dead so far. What a dangerous month October has been. For November, it has started off with a bang again. 2 more persons. The Ministry of Health has announced has died. They've died as a result of COVID-19, and we have gone to 128. But as of now, it is in a brand new month that we're meeting you once again, and it's just a few days, just over a month before Christmas. Are we celebrating Christmas this year? What kind of celebrations is it going to be in a pandemic state? And you know that right across the world, as we talk right now, they are grappling with this pandemic, COVID-19, unprecedented in the whole scheme of things. As we speak, also, the United States of America is getting ready to handle one of, well, did we say to describe our elections? And we were right on target with that. The mother of all elections. Well, there's a grandfather and the grandmother of all elections there in the United States tomorrow. President Donald Trump, the incumbent, he is fighting tooth and nail to retain power in what would be an elections that is going to be defining in the history of the United States. We will be looking at that very carefully. At stake here, many families who are looking at immigration laws, policies, and a lot of stuff, again, is watching that very carefully. So that's where we are at November the 2nd, 2020. We are going to head straight into our Kaieteur newspaper for the weekend, for yesterday and then today. And we have something to share with you today because this radio program here has always been one where we try to educate our people, to make them aware, to make you empowered, to build our capacity as a people. When we look at Singapore and Malaysia, we're talking about that. You look at Dubai and the rest of the places in the world. How have they reached to the stage of where they are? Well, it took discipline, it took sheer will, it took a lot of concentration and leadership by the people that ruled. So we go straight into the Kaieteur newspaper yesterday rather. It is the Guyana's largest selling newspaper. Pick up your copy today if you've missed it, or you could get it online after 10. It's kiteurenewsonline.com. So it's November the 1st, 2020, and this is what it had to say. Ruling on Lisa permit shows Exxon EPA not above the law. International lawyer Melinda Janke, and she is saying it very, very clearly. This is a precedent-setting case here that Guyana could look at to replicate if they feel aggrieved by other sections of the agreement that we would have signed. And why is this dominating? Because Guyana is struggling for money, resources, and here it is that you have some opportunities to grab a little more so our people could be able to benefit and live the kind of life that would come from such resources that sits offshore Guyana, and the resources are unbelievable. A large amount, as we speak right now, in the Stabroek block alone, confirmed is over 9 billion barrels of oil and gas equivalent there. And so Exxon has already indicated several projects. They've started one, the Liza 1, they're going to Liza 2, and then the Payara. And Liza 1 is there. They've already started pumping. It has a capacity of 120,000 there. And so the ruling with the Liza permit shows Exxon not above the law. And EPA was a clear case that Exxon would have been given a permit that give them more than 5 years allowed. And so they went to court. A local took that company to court, Exxon and EPA, and he won. And he is a representative, Dr. Troy Thomas of the Transparency International. And the court agreed that you can't give, in contradiction to the law, any kind of arrangement that may be beyond the stipulated time. So the main headline here yesterday, ExxonMobil has ignored major red flags of benefit from Morki, Kanji, and Kaieteur block deals. And this is a very interesting story here, that although that they would have been aware that if you're dealing with somebody, especially in the oil industry, that's so regulated, you have to ensure that the background and so on that you're checking, are they above board? Was the deal done in accordance with the laws? And if it was, does this person have the necessary wherewithal to partner with a big company like Exxon? Did they do this? Well, the story that's coming out that Exxon did not do that. And why is it so important? Because we could be able, more countries, many other countries would have looked at the additional oil blocks that you have in addition to Stabroek, and put it up on the market and says, let me see the best price that comes. And Guyana did not do that. So we don't know whose hands it end up in, because the questions there, according to the story that's coming out. Fleecing of Guyana series recap. No other elections on the stewardship of Keith Lowenfield, and this is Attorney General Anand Lall making it very, very clear. As long as Keith Lowenfield's there, over the weekend he says, we will not have any elections because of his stewardship in the recent election. And what would have happened, Keith Lowenfield is the chief elections officer before the court on several criminal charges, and there are others who have been charged with regards to GHK and their role or alleged role in the elections 2020. Very, very important case. The U.S. approved sale of 4 Bell helicopters to Guyana. I think we did speak to a senior official. This is over the weekend. The U.S. officials, the authorities there, the military arm of the United States there would have indicated that there was an application, and they have in principle approved of the sale of 4 Bells. We were told that each one of the helicopters would not go past $50 million US. There's some questions now whether we should be spending any money on Bell helicopters. Well, Captain Jerry Govay has come out and says, as a security advisor to the government, that when you're looking at the oil ships and so on, and in any case, if we're moving towards protecting our assets, especially with Venezuela right next door there, you should build capacity. This is the beginning of it here. So the U.S. is interested in Guyana protecting its facilities as well. So they're giving us these state-of-the-art helicopters that has some quick-moving capacity or able to mobilize and move very quickly. It has some equipment, specialized equipment for us to deal with security issues. This country also expired HIV test kits sold to the health ministry. One major drug supplier is facing court again. They were charged with presented allegedly fake boxes of HIV test kits. They were expired. They created allegedly boxes, put these expired test kits in it, and then sold it to the government of Guyana. Well, they're facing charges here. Compliments of the Guyana Food and Drugs Department. Supplier faces court again. This is today, the day before the court. Attorney General should have marched Ramatar Prasad over to CID of oil blocks deal. This is former President Ramatar and former Natural Resources Minister Robert Prasad. And this is coming from Ramon Gaskin. He's an activist. So he walked straight over to today's Kaieteur newspaper because there's some odd things that we have to discuss here. November the 2nd, 2020, Exxon partners will walk away $653 million in waived taxes. You can recall the Guyana agree, don't pay any taxes, Exxon. We will do those taxes. And so by doing so, Guyana gave up and allowed Exxon to walk away $653 million by 2025. $700 million, that's just over $600 million. Our Milo Falls is $1 billion, so just put it in context here. I think our bridge across the Demerara Harbor Bridge, it could probably give you about 2 bridges. So that's the kind of money that you're talking about there that we give up. Kaieteur Kanji owners violated principal purpose of license. Guyana should recover. Companies sold blocks without doing any work. And this coming from attorney at law Christopher Ram. He's also an accountant. And let me tell you what this really means, because I was trying to get some explanation. You own a piece of land and a man comes and tells you, look, I believe you have gold in the backyard there, or you believe that you have gold. And the man says, I have the expertise, I have the equipment. And the man comes and says, look, whatever, we're going to talk a little about it, about how we do things. And so the man comes in, the man takes charge of your land, you give him a lease. The man takes your land and sells it without you having a say in that, without you having any knowledge. You didn't give the man the land to do that, to sell it. This is exactly what would have happened in with the Kaieteur and the Kanji block. We give them specifically to explore. The people then went and find new buyers and all kind of stuff. So when you look at that situation, what would you do? The question is, what do you do as the owner of the land? Do you allow him to remain there? Do you take him to court? Do you pick up a gun? What do you do? That's the question. That is what the Kaieteur newspaper is asking here today. So that's what the story. Pick up your Kaieteur newspaper and get yourself familiar with that, so you can understand. When you're complaining about $25,000 and pension and things like that, this is a story that you should be complaining about. Extra pipelines for Payara well cost billions more than Liza 2. Hess executive. And this is another story that is so shocking. When people give you bills and you don't have any idea, well, you know, this piece of equipment, that pump there, it is $3 million US. And then when you really start digging into it, and we haven't really started looking into these costs in a very big way. So they give us a bill and we have to accept it. And these are the kind of things. Do we have an idea what these pipelines would cost? And so here we give in billions of dollars extra, and we have to pay back for this, because Exxon is going to charge it to us eventually. Police recover gun stolen as 3 female cops robbed by lone bandit. And this is, one man holding up 3 cops, female cops. And he was, looks as if the police have been able to make some headway there. Government rescinds Health Ministry at quarters contract after 90% of $356 million paid. Project incomplete despite 317 days extension. Unbelievable that you would give a man that, and then the man gives you on top of the bill. I was reading the story and this thing just blew my mind away. So I give Joshua a contract. Could you build my headquarters at $356 million? Years after, this company is not finished building it. I think the company in this case is Chong's Global. They're not finished, but then they hand you a bill of $500 million and say, look, this is for additional work. What do you do? These are the kind of contracts that we're dealing with, and when we have to give somebody some money, or somebody come ask for a wheelchair or things like that, then you say, look, we don't have the money for it. We have to apply. We have to go to cabinet and things like that. And here you have it. Contractors walking away. Here's another one for you. You want to believe what is unbelievable? Government terminates BK Courtney Benn School contracts totaling $1.1 billion. You could recall, I think, Courtney Benn School contract, that's at St. Rose's. For years, the ministry was saying, I think it was the ministry or tender board, let's say for the one at St. Rose's. Courtney Benn started building this contract here. Guess what happened? Courtney Benn was not allowing the stakeholders these are stakeholders like the school. The school wanted to see, what is it that you're building for us? The contractor tell the school, you can't come onto the site, you're not even being allowed that, or something to that effect. They were not being allowed. The school complained to Kaieteur News about that. While leading up to the elections, another big contract was given out for a school on the highway. And I should read this thing to you because you understand that these are things we got to be very serious about. We're looking for money. We had to find some money for us to $4 billion to pay out $25,000 each to each household. And here we're giving out $1 billion, just like that, drop of a hat. And let me just read it very quickly there. Although Chong's global enterprise was handed more than 90% of the $356 million contract and given a 317 days, this is more than a year, extension period for the construction of the Health Ministry's main office, works remain incomplete, forcing governing administration to terminate his service. And this would have been letters that were sent by Attorney General, Minister of Legal Affairs, and Nandal. And then, of course, Cleon Chong. I'm not sure what is happening here, Chong. And they were given that in 2017, they were given their contract there. And they ended the permanent works with less than 70% complete after the contractor received $308 million. And I understand that they would have given the government an additional bill there for $500 million. When you go across to let me see, this is across to St. Rose's, almost the same thing happened. So the contractors become bigger than the client. The contractors have more powers than the clients that you have there. This is absolutely incorrect, and I think it even illegal. Incorrect would not be the correct word there. So this is a true. Guyana's leaders allow Exxon to treat us like junkies. There's a true story. A junkie stole a water pump worth $200,000. He went to a businessman and asked for $1,000 for the stolen item. The businessman offered the junkie $500. When the junkie agreed, the businessman gave him $300 and told him that all the money he had on him, that was all the money he had on him. A $200,000 water pump ended up being sold for measly $300. That's how Exxon and Guyana's political leaders are insulting us, and they name the both PNCR, AFC, and the PPP as doing that. So in essence, that's the story there. Let me say very quickly, lots of contracts in the newspaper yesterday. The government is moving very swiftly ahead. It's a story of a company, woodworking company, ready for housing boom. And they had some beautiful wood products here. This is the company there next door to the license office on Smythe Street. And it's the Vulcan's Timber Works there. Always had kiln-dried lumber. If you're looking for kiln-dried lumber, I'm not here to advertise them, but the fact is when you see companies getting aggressive to deal with the housing market as well as to deal with other stuff, it's very good. So they have some nice wine bars, wine racks, and the flooring is unbelievable what they have here. Even some gates that I saw there that is really good. 21,000 students to return to school in 2 weeks. And this is coming from Minister of Education. They say that, let me see. This is with regards to grades 10, 11, and 12, CSEC Cape. Following the Health Ministry's approval, a conditional reopening of school in the new gazetted order of the COVID-19 measures this month, it was announced that school will be open in 2 weeks, and this is for the biggest students, the one for CSEC and Cape, and they are going to do this in a rotational basis. The disclosure was made by Minister of Education Priya Manik Chand during a press conference at the National Center for Education Resource Development, NSORD, on Saturday. Over 21,000 students, which include those from grade 10, 11, and 12, and even technical vocational students will be having face-to-face classes from November the 9th, according to the minister. Manik Chand said the decision to reopen school came from the government observing global best practices and conducting studies, as well as holding decisions between parents, teachers, and the Ministry of Health, the Guyana's Teachers Union, and the Caribbean Examinations Council. The students and teachers will attend school on a rotation basis based on special timetables set up by the respective administration. Schools with dormitories will also be reopened on November the 9th with special arrangements. So that's an interesting story there. Let me see. It's been a very, wet day, and I feel sinus is not a very good thing. Got to be using some vitamin C. Government launches new rice variety capable of yielding 60 bags per acre. This is a good project here too. Whenever you see you could increase your yields, more money for the farmers there. Let's hope it's also able to do something with the weather as well, weather resistant rice that we have there. So very quickly before we go to our people, I want to say good day. You're tuned into the Guyana wake up show right here on Guyana, your favorite show. I hope that it is. And you guys need to say good day because I'm saying good day. I missed you over the weekend. And you know something. It's always I look forward over the weekend, although I might be home taking a few breaths to do a couple of things around the house or so. Keep thinking what is next. What do I say to the folks on Monday morning? What do I say next day? What are the kind of conversation? But it's always good because you guys lead the way when it comes to what we're going to discuss and so on. So it is always good to have our Wake Up Guyana show in a very short while. Within a matter of days, I could tell you that we will have a co-host, keeping that a secret. Let's see what happens there. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, want to say good day to all of folks in all three counties. I understand that you have a lot of rains there in Berbice also. It is happening. I can't hear anything from Esquivel, but keep us posted. But I could tell you, in the meantime, there is Christmas in the air. What are you doing for Christmas? I would like you to have a discussion with that. How are you preparing? Would we have any Christmas this year? How difficult it is? A lot of persons would have lost their jobs, and they're still looking out for that 25,000. I understand in a very short while they come into Region 4. They've started in Region 3 there. Region 5 and 4 is next. Region 5 is the West Demerara, West Berbice area there. So with regards to the pink slip, many persons would have been asking about the pink slips. And these are people, if the $25,000 team come to your house and they have found that there are more than one families living there, they'd give it to the head of the household and have the other families fill out those pink slips. Nobody with pink slips have started receiving the $25,000. That's because they want to, I think they're looking at that. The government is looking at that. Hopefully I'm going to get some people from the Ministry of Finance to come across, and we're going to talk a little about that. I'm going to have a chat there with those folks there. We happen to have a long lineup of people this week here coming onto the program starting tomorrow for us to be able to tell you how things are happening. But in the meantime, U.S. elections tomorrow. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. What is happening? Incumbent there. Are we going to see, let's say that Trump loses, which I think there is going to be a very, very close, highly, hotly fought contest there. At stake so many things else that people would have been talking about. Trump's style of governing. Of course, there are many of the folks, immigrants and so on, not too happy with some of its policies. So these are going to be big issues that are going to be playing out there. Of course, Medicaid and so on. Trump's foreign policy. These are going to be big issues that people are going to be contemplating. There were some wrongs of voting early in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. So we are going to be playing. A lot of persons says Trump win. You have a lot of Trump supporters here. I'm not going to put myself out there. I do believe that it is going to be something that's close. I think Trump has spoken to the people of America, telling them that he is looking out, make America great. That has sent a chord or struck a chord with the hardcore Americans who want to protect their country. The others with the immigrants, and so it is going to be a very hotly fought contest. We're going to be keeping our eyes close on that. Maybe let's see what this means for Guyana, because there's a lot of people who believes that it has implications for Guyana. I'm not sure what kind of implications, because Guyana already is doing its business, so I'm not sure how that's going to run. 74-year-old woman from Region 4 is one of the latest deaths that's been recorded today as we speak. This is coming from the Ministry of Health. And there's a 57-year-old man from Region 1. Region 1 is climbing in terms of the numbers. That's pushed the figures 128 deaths since March. There's two stories that I must tell you here, or three issues before we move straight on to I think it is, we are going to be opening the lines. I want you to start sending those text messages. I need to read as many text messages as possible today. And so it's 6222222. Send us those messages here, or 226 7453, 226 7453. And so we will, after the break, come back and we're going to start opening up those lines. But two things happened over the weekend that I must bring to your attention. It has to do with zoning, it has to do with people's property, and so on. There's one case at, I think, at Happy Acres. There's a gentleman there, a family that has been complaining, trying to battle with EPA and so on, over the placement of a big building in front of their home. Somebody within the NDC and wherever it is at the EPA level give Massey Group the authority to put down a big facility there. And right next door to the man's bedroom, who he's been living there for years, had tenants in another property within the yard renting. Immediately after that happened, after this place put down the facility, they put down the big generators as well as the AC units, all those big equipment there. He says he's never gotten peace, and it's been a couple of years now. He's been fighting EPA. So I want to raise that issue because whenever you see things like this happen, you question EPA and you question those other authorities and the NDCs as well, because it has to pass them sometime or the other. The man has been begging, trying to set up a meeting with him and the EPA so he could be able to have another wrongs with them, or maybe even take them to court, because that's an issue there. If you're living in your home and somebody is tormenting you, or not having you live in peace, because when you're in a home, you want to be there. It's a zone of comfort. It's an area that you relax, that you would want to be there, be at peace, throw back after a hard day's work or business, whatever it is that you do. And you're sitting there, and then you hear the loud thing comes on or clicks off and off. It jars you into awakening very quickly. And noise is something that was one of the worst things. A lot of people have been complaining about music and this and that. If you put on just even a generator or even one of the pressure washer, it's unbelievable the noise that it takes. So imagine a big generator where it does right next door to your bedroom. Not a case here in our boys' tongue, but I'm going to come back to that in a very short while. Right about now, it is time. It's CARICOM General Insurance Company time. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Oronox Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225 1787 or 269 0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Oronox Street. So we continue here right now, but let me go back. So there was a story here before we open the lines. The story is in All Boys Song. Two neighbors fighting now, and I'm not sure everybody ends up at Kaieteur News, Kaieteur Radio, and I guess that's because they're not seeing any kind of other resolutions coming out. So the lady comes and she says the man took over her spot with the area where they're supposed to walk. You know, there's houses with three houses along one lot there, and each one a person have their own lot that they're living in within these big lands. And she said they're using one walkway or something like that, and this man take it over, block it off, and things like that, and take it as if it's his. And so he's a businessman. And when she goes to the MNCC, the MNCC says it's they can't do anything. She's been writing all the different ministries, can't afford a lawyer. Went into to MNCC, reached with the mayor. The mayor went down. The mayor said, I spoke to him on Saturday. He said that he instructed the engineer, the city engineer, and the engineer hasn't acted. And the mayor says, I can't really do anything else. Spoke to the city engineer this morning, and the city engineer says that I can't do anything. It's a dispute between two citizens. So the lady said, I'm not sure with that. I believe that the city engineer is the one that needs to look out for that. So, at the end of the day, where does the people of Guyana turn to when it seems as if our regulators, in this case here, the city council can't be able to look into it, think, a man blocked my yard, and I'm not being allowed to get into that. Where do I go to? I'm a poor woman. So there are many cases like this. Um, uh, there are many cases like this in which people are complaining and can't get things to happen. This morning also, somebody sent me pictures. You know, a lot of people believe that you're there and you should be looking at these things here. Um, on the East Bank, in addition to everybody parking along, so look at Diamond for example. Starting from Peters Hall, go down, right down. All the reserves are being taken over either with trucks selling something. I don't have an issue people making their money, but it has to be done in a structured manner. And everybody seems to be taking over. In Diamond, a truck took over the whole pavement this morning next to the bank. And that truck there, you know, to send the picture, and it's unbelievable. It's just a reflection of how far we've come as a nation when it comes to doing what we feel like. So I could pick up myself, you know, and let me take over the whole back, the square foot, the 4 foot that I have behind me there. And let me go plant it as a garden. Let me block it off because you know what? I think it's at the back of my yard. I could do that. I could take over the reserve that's in front of my yard, you know, that little space just by way of bridges. I could take it over and block it off because I want to bring my fence out to there. You know, these are things I could do because everybody's doing it. Why can't I do it? If you're not doing anything along the East Bank Road, let me might as well break the law. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. So, a good day to you folks wherever you're joining us from today. And I see there's a healthy discussion in the group Biden versus Trump, and I like that. So 2267453, or you could send us your text 62222. Want to hear from you guys. What is happening? What's bothering you today? Do we have a call online already? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right
Good
ahead.
afternoon, Mr. Gilari.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Mr. Gilari. Oh my, because you ain't falling, make I get through with you.
Oh no, I don't think so. You're
How
lucky.
are you making out to the rain?
Yeah, the rain was terrible. Well, I wouldn't say terrible, but it was
I
non-stop.
know. I know. Hey, what happened? We have a problem here in Houston where the container is. They have Munishwar containers. And in the night, they work. And the noise, sometimes you jump out your sleep. The other thing, you have dust pollution. In my house, it's only dust. And I don't know where to go. They had this man that came to me, Mr. Muir. I keep calling him, but he don't answer the phone anymore. And
Who
I
is
don't know
he?
what
Who
to
is he?
do. He is apart from Munishwar.
I could probably reach out to Monishwar and maybe they could engage the residents.
Yes,
This is an issue that's very
yes,
clearly for the EPA. The
yes. But
EPA,
I
I think,
did
regulates
hear,
them.
I
Uh,
did call them, and you know what they tell me? I
oh.
have to write a letter, and in 2 weeks they will respond to me.
But start the process. Why don't you do that? Do that. What I'm saying to you, because right about now, what we're doing is putting to the test all these organizations that are supposed to be delivering or supposed to be giving service to the people of Guyana. And as regulators, if they don't do it, we should bring it up and let's start talking about it.
What
So what?
happened is a long issue I had with them because at one time I bring the media, Channel 2, and Channel 2 come and they discovered the dust and everything. It was on news and everything, right? But Mr. Manishwar sent a representative, which is Mr. Muir. So I call him up the day before yesterday. I have some videos that I take out, and if you see it like smoke, the dust is like smoke, and I the completely opposite facing him,
Uh-huh.
the compound. So I get the most of it. And the thing about it, nobody is not coming. And before I go and put it up to Facebook and what have you, because I send it to my nephew and let him put it up because I don't have Facebook.
Hmm.
So that is what happened. And I don't know how I could get released and thing. And the other
Well, what I'm
part,
gonna do for you, you should write EPA as, and that's my advice to you. You should also write EPA if they said for you to write them.
I was
Do
starting
that.
to go into them.
Yes, you could
But
go
what
into them.
happened, I'm not so good in the writing.
No, you can get somebody, man. You must got to get somebody within.
I will try and get that done, but it's not only me alone. The community so could get somebody
But
to
get together, get the community
yeah.
together, get the community
The other thing
together.
about it, we don't have like what you call it? They had a program saying that people would come into your area, and they would have a head community representative.
I don't understand that. What do you mean? Who comes
Okay.
into the area?
The Houston Houston area.
Yes.
They had a man that named some David that come in and say he is representing Houston community from the government.
Oh, okay. You mean a person that would be in charge for the various
Yeah.
ministries and so on. I don't know in that particular case there because this is the it could be a local government issue here.
Yeah, I
It could
don't know,
also
but happen so. He comes twice and everybody pull up and everybody get the 5 person that's supposed to represent, who's supposed to be representing the community within the community. But after that happened, we did not hear back anything from him. We didn't hear anything from the government or nothing at all.
well, this thing has to do with what part exactly you live in there in Houston.
This is right by the Houston Secondary School here at the back.
Oh, there's behind that.
Oh, yes, completely where...
There's there's east of the East Bank Road there.
Yes.
All right, you're
Where
right.
the old Canefield was?
Yes.
Houston?
Yes.
Right. Well, right across there, they have this area named Houston.
Yes, well, I know that area there because right behind there, I think Gaffor's was over on the outside with the Magdom
Yeah,
area, and
have to
then
come down more to the end of it.
and behind you got some
Concrete.
facilities, oil facilities that go up there too,
Yes.
storage
What
yard and so on.
happened, I don't know when the media that come, the Munishwar people say that they don't work in the night and they're not supposed to work in the night. But there goes we having this problem, and sometimes the containers fall down. It also damaging your foundation of your house. It's cracking up your concrete, your foundation. It's noisy. And
If you
nobody's
could
talking
probably
about
get
it.
a number of residents ready, maybe we could find some way. I could probably arrange a meeting with you and EPA and the company. We could probably do that.
Yes.
But get a couple. It can't be you alone who's doing that. Let them do it.
I know.
Do that and give us a call back and let me know how that plays out.
Okay, thank you so much, and have a nice, bright afternoon ahead.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am. So you tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. I'm your host, Leonard Gildari, and let me tell you what are some of the things that there were people saying today, compliments of some of the messages that they're sending into our phone, 6222222. In 2016, the APNU changed the criteria for the common entrance exam of making the children put their names on the exam papers instead of numbers. Now, the schools like Queen's College didn't do well. They're blaming the exams council. So we have some different takes. Is going back to school compulsory? Why can't we use virtual classes? Those persons who have internet, please let the Ministry of Education shed some light on the place. Good question. Whether you could do, instead of you having to go to classes face to face, whether you could do something where that means you'd have to provide internet to the school. I'm going to raise this issue. I apply 8 years for a house lot and can't get it up to now. I keep checking and calling. They say my name and is in the computer. What I could tell you is that there is 50,000 applications plus on CHMPA database, and they have started reviewing and they're looking at it at the moment. They don't have any other information except they got to please check, and they're looking for lands at the moment as to where they could open. I understand on Saturday that President Irfan Ali was on the west bank of Demerara, west Demerara area up to Esquibo. He's looking to shoot a road. This is a road alternative to the West Coast Road there, between the new area where the Harbor Bridge is going to be, till up to Perica. And then they're going to open that road from Perica to Goshen. Goshen is an area that's opposite, up the Esquibo River, opposite somewhere by Bartica there. So they're hoping to open thousands of acres of lands, which is going to be open to housing, among other things. So these are some of the things that they're playing around with. Leonard, why is it that Radio 103.1 happens to broadcast Abu Bakr 1981 taking over of the Trinidad government for the past several days now? I'm not sure who's 103.1. I'm not sure why they would do that. I think they have their own policy. So that is what we have for that. Do we have another caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Okay, we missed that. Good afternoon, Gildari. Just letting Guyanese know to pay attention to the U.S. elections, because even though it's in the USA, the future of Guyana depends on it as well. You know, excuse me, the sinuses acted up a little because of the weather. But let me ask a question. Could somebody tell us, whoever is watching or maybe call us, in what ways is our governance in Guyana going to be affected? I can understand if you tell me maybe immigration policies and so on. Is there any indication that, let's say, Trump is no longer there, that there's going to be interference into what is happening in Guyana here? There's a new government, according for all intents and purposes, democratically elected and placed in there as a result of one, a count, two, a recount, and three, the matters before the courts at the moment. The courts will have to decide whether anything went wrong with the elections, that there's the elections petition there. So I'm not sure. I keep seeing people saying that. I even see people saying that if Democrats go in, Guyana gonna know what gonna happen. I saw one man saying that, and I'm wondering where the heck is he living? Because he's not living in Guyana. I gotta be living somewhere there. So I'm from the Parfait Harmony. I just see on Facebook that they give out land. Let know, please. Sorry, the next thing is that we do not hear what are 25,000. They haven't come to the Parfait Harmony areas yet, not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure how they're sharing out land in the Parfait. I got to find out about that. Maybe it's people who would have applied and they would have gotten the people who had received maybe a letter that was way back. I'm going to have to find out. But they're not dealing with those big amounts of application right now. They're looking for the lands. Hi, Leonard. Hope that you're doing well. Sorry for the length of the message, but it's important. I'm sure that it's happening in a lot of indigenous communities. Concerning the $25,000 cash grant, I heard in Region 2, up in the Pomeroon River, St. Monica, the villagers were told to go to the mission to collect the $25,000. The process was explained thoroughly to the villagers, yet some of them happened to live with their parents, collected the cash grant. Some filled out the pink form, yet collected the following day. The good news is that the folks who shared the cash grant, realizing they were short of fund, went back to the village and collect back some of those cash grant from the villagers. One villager who was a single parent did not return hers, even though she filled out the pink form. The Tushao allowed that to happen too, saying it's okay, no need to return it. Thank you very much. I've been hearing some stories from time to time about situations in the various areas there. So I am going to be sending this through the Ministry of Finance folks there. Said if you know of anything, let us tell them, and we're going to take it from there. So I'm going to send this to them. In the meantime, some other messages very, very quickly, and we head back to the lines. Good afternoon, Leonard. Please see what you can do about this situation. I'm not sure what they're talking about there. 12:05. Okay, do we have a caller online? Okay, we take a break now. When we come back, we go back to the line 226-7453.
I'm Vindhyavasini Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security. I'm a passionate believer in creating opportunities for the vulnerable and persons who are in dire need of providing for their families. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has been inundated with requests from people for jobs, help, and support. I know COVID-19 has made your lives difficult and you're struggling to make ends meet. We want to help. If you know how to sew, you can earn from every mask that you make and package. All you need is a sewing machine and fabric. Join the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Garment and Accessories Cottage Initiative and make thousands of masks to supply various entities. Simply fill out an application which is available on our ministry's website, or uplift an application from any of the ministries or Regional Democratic Council offices countrywide. For more information, contact Himwanti Lagan on 672-1653 or via email hlagan136@gmail.com.
Thank you very much for joining us again. It's the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1. If you join us from Esquimalt and Demerara, 99.1 in Berbice, 99.5 FM. I want to say good day to all the RDCs and the main town councils and the NDCs and so on. Whatever it is that you're doing, understand that you play a very important role, a critical role in the governing of Guyana. So you have to deliver. All the councillors and the chairpersons, so provide the services. You've asked the people to be sworn in for them to elect you. So it's time for you to provide those services. Good day to you, your employer and listeners. I was born in British Guyana, automatically became a shareholder in Guyana as well. I'm prepared to stand up against the giveaway of the oil blocks. Are you standing with me? Should we start the process by means of signature? Thank you. Do not announce my ID. Blessings. Be safe. So you have a gentleman there who's willing to stand up and fight. We have Guyanese people fighting now actually for what belongs to them and how this country is being run. Um, Let me see what we have there. Good. So do we have another caller online? 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildari.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, we have some question with you.
Yes.
This COVID-19 and the Guyana police force, like they are favoring one set of people. I would like Mr. Wolfson Ben and the commercial police to drive on this place during the night. I think I talked to you already about the East Coast car park. There are vendors selling beer. Lots of vehicles parking up. They play music, drinking. There's the next one opposite the Kameri car park. A bar open there. Starbucks Outpost is right there. Nobody doing anything. Last night there was a barbecue and lime in Ben Street between Dinah and Haley. These police are going around and closing these small shops and not doing anything on these people on the road that is selling alcohol and have people park up and drinking. At the outpost at Cemetery Road, the outpost is right here and about 3 or 4 buildings away. There's a cheese police place open until after 12 and a shop opposite people say I'm drinking outside after 12. And the outpost is right there. If no bars can open, these vendors don't have a license to sell alcohol and they are selling on the car park.
Well, that's a complaint. I did see some photographs circulating with the Burby's car park. Are you talking also about the Burby's car park?
Yeah, Bobby's car park, East Coast car park, and the Mary car park.
I don't even know what to tell you. I'm so upset about this because it looks as if we have residents who don't give a damn about what is happening and what the risks are. Imagine that you would want a beer so badly or whatever it is that you're drinking, or you're so hungry that you would put your families in danger. Why would you do that?
These really created a crowd at these car parks, and the police passing up and down, stopping it. They even stopping and drinking right there too.
Well, we could make some conclusions from that, right? Why would you do something like that? Why would you allow it to happen if you have... Look, this thing is very, very simple. There's Brigham Police Station in the midst of Brigham there. Right next door, they have a lot of policemen who are there who are supposed to be traveling around the place and things like that. Yeah. And you rightfully pointed out that there's an outpost in front of Starbucks Market. So if you have that there and they're not acting, there's some conclusions to be made. It's either the sleeping...
Is either taking pay or something.
Okay, but we can look at a couple of things. I can put it out there. It's either sleeping, it's either you ain't turn up to work, or you're taking bribe. Or maybe there's something else I missing.
I would like the Commissioner of Police and Mr. Wolfson to drive around this place in the night and see what's going on. The nice spot, the Magic City, Baroom Bar, got the hotel on North Road. They are closing the front door, but they're allowing people to go in from the back door, and they have people inside all night drinking.
Yes, it is. It is an issue. I'm not sure what's the answer to it. I have to continue, but I think that they know what are some of the issues. Maybe there's even a relaxation from the police that they're not going to torment anybody, that they're going to allow people. I'm not sure what's the policy.
Going to allow everybody.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, the other shop, they have rent and light bill and everything to pay, plus the other shop staff is out of job and other people could operate.
Well, we pushed back the opening, the curfew to 10:30 in the evening or in the night. But you understand what we're doing.
No bars, not to open.
Well, let me tell you, in this case here, I've always talked about the tail wagging the dog. The government passes down an order, and the tail is out there. That's the police and the other regulators are doing absolutely nothing. The tail is wagging the dog.
They're only doing it to certain people.
Well, let's see what happens. We could only raise these issues here. You can't force them because I've been talking about the bars. I've been talking about these things here and that they need to take care and people not taking care. I understand the Steve Wall was packed yesterday too.
Yeah.
Well, the people don't want to take care. I mean, the deaths have been there, and the older folks are the ones who die in Region 4, Region 1. Those are the areas that are heavily affected.
Yeah, but the county police need to send the order down to the staff and even
But
put
why
people
is it?
to overlook.
Listen, no. But we have an issue here. When the government sits down in the stakeholder group, that task force there, sitting
Yeah.
on the task force is security people, health people, government, maybe several persons from the cabinet of ministers. The police are part of that as well. I think the army is also part of that because they help in the border areas.
Yeah, well, what they
What are we
need to do
doing?
now, if certain police is not enforcing the law, the task force should have individual on this road looking around and see who is not enforcing the law and come up with a system how to deal with it.
I don't know what to say to you except that I'm gonna have to talk to Mr. Robertson Ben again and see
Yeah.
see what's happening down there. Thank you very much for that, sir.
Thank you.
God bless. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and let me tell you, we have our numbers 6222222. Let me read some of those messages that we have on our line coming in now. Good afternoon, Leonard. There's a dam adjoining Mark Arcadia to her Sterling housing scheme. Cows are coming across and destroying our pipelines and parapets. Also, people are coming across and stealing from us. I've made complaints to the NDC and they're doing nothing. And this is because most housing schemes, they don't have any kind of protection, no police outposts or anything. I think the community people would have to reach with the Minister of Housing there, Colin Crowell, and maybe you would have to ask him if they could move very quickly or put in a police outpost there. That's something that you could ask for. So I'm going to send this message to him and see what he could say. Thank you very much for that, for the folks down in Herstelling on the east bank of Demerara. When you have new housing schemes without proper infrastructure, you're going to have issues like this. Diamond had it years ago when my brother moved in there. Many people were being robbed, and if you're building and you have a facility there, they break into it. Guyanese are forced to eat lesser and less as water and light bills are shockingly increased. When are we going to get a good salary to cover these nightmares before we leave this world? Help us. So I don't know what to tell you there. It is an issue that has been that our people have been facing day in, day out. They're seeing, they we talking, and they're seeing things happening, but every month it's struggling. You're paying your bills, the bills are coming bigger and bigger and bigger. What could we say? What could we do? We could only complain. We could only call in the authorities and maybe cost them, give them 2 costs. Somebody said give them some countryman gaff. Hi, Mr. Gilary, present. Good afternoon to you. I have a concern I wish to raise. But the Bagot Song Road, there's a road that leads to the dump site. That road is very bad, yes. Plus, there are street lights installed. All this, does not work to fix the holes. Thank you very much. Somebody had sent this to us. And I did raise this to them. I'm going to also send this to the ministers, them as well, as about that road. I think that people have been complaining time and again about it. Okay, good. Thank you very much for that. Do we have another caller online? 2267453. Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air.
Yeah, Mr. Gildawi, next issue. Garnet and Republic Street. There was a contractor laying some new pipelines about a year ago. This work has stopped. The new pipelines is on the road, on the parapet, and the road is in a terrible state. You cannot pass through Republic Street how they left it. And this is about a year now. This is stalled and left. Could you ask the Ministry of Housing and Water what is really going on?
This is Republic and Garnet.
Yes. Republic Street from Lamaha Street till to by the Silver Street.
Silver. I'm familiar with that area. I used to live there a long time back.
Yeah. You cannot drive through there. How the contractor left it, but a year now, it's like that. Plus, the new pipeline is on the parapet. Nothing is being done at the moment.
Sometimes I get very angry when I heard that. There was a leakage in my street, and I had to get the then CEO or managing director of GWI. His name is Richard Van West Charles. I called him and I said, look, this thing is bubbling up, and I don't like see my water being wasted. It's on the road. It's going to damage the road further because the road was in a bad state at that time. The man send a contractor. The contractor come dig up the road, fix the thing, and leave the road as it is.
Yeah.
I ain't got to tell you about the big hole that was there.
Well, they start about a year ago, and up to now, it just left incomplete, and the road left impossible. You
I'm gonna
cannot
send
pass
this.
on
I'm
that.
gonna send this to a couple of ministers and see the Ministry of Public Works, maybe the Minister of Local Government, as well as the Ministry of Housing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, then.
So in the meantime, let's go back to those messages. Mr. Gildari, the police is very lackadaisical and biased. The mayor and town council revealed bias hiring at City Hall. More corruption there, so people complaining. They didn't give much details on it. Highland, them shared $25,000 in Greenwich, Perico, East Bank, Esquimalt, and people was not at home, and they give a number, and when we call, no one to respond. Phew. Talk to the NDC in your area. The NDC is supposed to be liaising with them as to how they're sharing out that. So talk to them and let me know how that works. So there are many complaints. Well, not many complaints. The complaints coming out of one, two things. Not everybody is at home. A man called me this morning. He says he wasn't at home when they came. Some in Hubu, I think it is, on the Parika area there, and he wanted to know if I could be able to, and I did ask him to make contact with the NDC here there, so they could probably be able to advise him how they could move forward with it. $25,000 cash grant rolling out too slow. There's somebody. Good day. I'm complaining about the Jupat's bar last night till 2 o'clock. They closed early again. A lot of noise. Yes, these are people complaining about 226-7453. Get those messages into 62222. Want to hear from you guys. I know that many of you home today. There is a lot of rain. Do not be cloaked up in your bed. Let's talk business. Let's talk about our business in Guyana here. 62222, or call us right now 226-7453. Let's hear from you. What is bothering you? What is affecting you? Let's talk. Go ahead. Yes, or we take a break right now and we come back. It's just a very short while. Um, uh, I could be able to read you. It's time for our insurance. And let me tell you, if you want your insurance, the company that you'd have to go to is the CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. It's a better value for better protection. Get your shipping cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street to better serve you. You can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. And so we take a break right now. When we come back, more calls, and we're going to read more messages. 6222222. Send us those messages right away.
Weak systems of governance and the absence of the rule of law both combine to form the perfect stage for corruption to flourish. As part of our anti-corruption fight at Kaieteur Radio, we invite you to join us every Tuesday evening from 7:30 p.m. as we embark on the most needed quest to remove the tentacles of corruption from our systems. See you then for our latest program called Governance, Corruption, and Justice.
Yes, so welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. And let me tell you, let us have some messages here again. And we're going to go back to the lines in a very short while. Good afternoon, sir. I want to ask, in the new curfew, buyers have permission to open until 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, more complaints here now. Both houses open till 4. The cars drive in and park at the back, and loud music and lights torn off at Land of Canaan. Another bar, Jupat at Thorbridge Diamond Grove. When you call the station, you will see the police come and go to the bar and come out with Guinness in his hand for everybody, the police vehicle. What is going on here? So people make it very, very clear. The police taking Guinness when they go to the bars to find out, why are you opening? They come back with Guinness. Is that a reward? What it is? Or is it a very thirsty night? But people are complaining there. Minister of Home Affairs, Robertson Ben, Commissioner of Police. What is happening here? The people are complaining. So in the meantime, do we have another caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I have two things here. One, the guy, the big man called you up now and tell you about these policemen, them, right?
Uh-huh.
This thing here, we should know by now. The police them go to certain places where they know that they can get free food, drinks, and money. Now, Trinidad, we were told by a niece in Trinidad that the people that walking about the place without masks, they are getting charged. So why don't they do the same thing here? Because the government
Let me ask you a
is
question. Let me ask.
government is getting blamed for everything with this COVID-19.
But let me ask you a question there, caller. If it is that the police are not monitoring the bar, or they're supposed to be monitoring the bars right now, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, when you got time to go after people who not wear masks, who you believe can do it? If they're not doing it now, they can do it then?
That's the problem.
That's the issue that we have.
And that is the problem, because when you're done, you're hearing a lot of people criticizing the government and saying they're not doing enough for COVID. But then it's the people, we the people of ourselves, are not taking care of our own selves.
Well, I think you've hit it there. We got to start taking our own responsibilities. You see, if we don't start looking out and start thinking when we breaking our laws, when we pay bribe, when we do these things, and then the big ministers or whoever it is doing it. Why are we complaining? Because we allow that. We like the culture. We like what is going on.
Right. And the next thing, the alleyways in between Ben Street and Hatfield Street, and even the Durban Street and all those alleyways. At the present moment, the water is so high now in there that it is starting to get into the yards now, because it is not being cleaned. And the thing is, whenever they do get them to clean it, the people are throwing things back into the alley. Right? Whole day you can hear the fence, the zinc fence, them things pelting and hitting.
Well, who you blame for that? Do you blame the city councils, or do you blame the nasty people that we have here, the dirty people?
I was going to tell you that again. We are coming back to now. The council get blamed now that they don't do their work. But when they do it now, the people turn around and throw the things back again, and they are not being charged. They had an incident where a girl from in our yard had the back here saw when the people threw a bucket right over into the back of our yard. She filmed this thing, and she made a report about it, and a guy came here from the council. She showed him on the phone and everything, and nothing was done about it. The guy that owned the back of our yard the other day, he went and climbed up the fence to go to nail his zinc. When he went over to the alley, he was chopping the bush. He chopped a plastic bag, and when he chopped the plastic bag, it was fresh human feces inside.
Oh my goodness! You see what I'm saying? They don't have a toilet, but you would throw it over the thing. You see?
What I'm saying. This is the heart of Georgetown, and you don't have a flush toilet.
That something is wrong there. But it comes back. You know what? Somebody is saying that we should stop talking about COVID-19 and things like that. Allow the people to do what they got to do and start looking out. Because that's the kind of country that we want to do. If it is, I can understand that you need to go to work. I can't understand that you would want to go to have a hangout drink. I can't understand that.
Then, and the guy told you about Hardina and what's the other corner? Haley Street, right? Well, they have now from Hardina to Louise Rosewell. They have a place there that have a lot of bubble session going on. They're terrible.
That's a thing I hear for a long time about bubble session. But
yes, women and men. Big sporting going on there. Every single night.
All right, my brother. I hear what you're saying there. These are issues that we're dealing with every day. We're talking, we're harping, we're cussing. I'm not sure when it's going to end.
Well, I don't know. Because
well, we continue to talk about it because somebody got to wake up sometime and smell the coffee, right?
The only way this thing can stop is that something will have to be done about the police force is one. And the people would have to start being charged for these things. Because if you start charging all the people that living in the back houses next to these alleyways, as long as you start doing that, they can stop.
But like I said before, they have an issue. You know, MNCC. MNCC has asked the government for several $100 million. They want a bailout, right? MNCC has millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars owed to them by business people within the city. If you go to the places where these business people live, you see they're driving all the best Lexus and whatever it is that they're doing. but they ain't paying the taxes.
Apart
Yet,
from that,
yet what? We complain about MNCC not doing the
right.
job, and they complain they don't have the money. Why do I have to give you money?
And then the same business people, them, they are paying the junkies $200 and $300 to go and dump the garbage. And they don't care where side they go and dump it.
I hear you. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
God
you.
bless. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. So in the meantime, dear, let us see some other messages very, very quickly. I think those messages are coming through. People complaining there. Let me see. Good day, sir. I'm from Rosenknall Village, West Wabees. Due to the heavy rainfall, there's been a rise in the water level that's causing flood in the village, but the cork is blocked on both sides, so the water is not going out. There's no drainage and the water is continuing to rise. Can you please contact someone to make them aware of the matter? Okay, yes, I could definitely do this, and I'm going to send it to our good folks there in a very short while. Let me just take this. So Rosenknall there, the people complaining there about the rise in the water, the floods there. Let me see. Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm going to send it to the authorities in a little short while. Some other one. Good afternoon, Leonard. Just came wanting to inform you about the COVID-19 cash grant in Region 2. The cash grant was given out at Kubari Mission in the Pomeroon River, and some household family did not receive any money. They had to fill out a pink form because the money finished. Some household did not receive the money. So some families had to be torn away because the money finished. It's really disappointing because some of these families, single household, also pensioners did not get, and the people need the money at times really hard, and places like this out here, no jobs. Only job you can get is a teacher, nurse, or health worker, and everybody can't fill up that position. So could you please address that matter? I think these are some of the 1-2 incidents that we're going to be hearing about. And I did raise this issue with the official yesterday, and he did acknowledge that it is something that they're looking into. I'm going to try to get it. It's difficult to get on to these persons and have them come. Good afternoon, Gildari. I'm living in New Scheme at Providence, back of the stadium. Lots of thieves happen in this area. The police need to patrol in this area as often as possible. Lots of dope smoking going on. Well, let me tell you, this is all over the country. All over this happening. Yes, but I'm going to raise this matter with them. Good afternoon. Is it true you have to buy a license for a bicycle? And when can you start buying these horse cars? And when can you start buying horse cart license before the year is finished or early next year? Not sure. I'm going to have to see. I think it's in the new year. They give you some time. So 205. Okay. Good afternoon, Gildari. Just asking, how many persons how persons are to dispose the yard waste, as the Better Hope NDC only collects household waste, yard waste. Okay, they're asking how the yard waste could be disposed of, as the NDC only collect household waste. I don't know, but you could ask them that question and let us see. I would love to hear back some of the answers that you could ask them. You could ask them the question and let us know what they're advising you to do with your waste. You might probably have to hire something. To all you awesome people down at Kaieteur Radio, this is, let me see who they're saying. Alana, Casual, Josh, Shivani, Kevin, Riaz, Raj, Selecta Andy, DJs, Chino, and all the others, everyone locked in. Pleasant Monday. Sharon from Diamond U. I was very loyal to 99.1. It's a good day to Sharon there. And of course, Sharon would have, let me see what she sent here. Yes. This is the Barbie's Car Park. Let me see what it's saying here. Oh yes, they sent a picture here, Barbie's Car Park, Saturday night, and it is, oh my, you should see the crowd here and understand that we have some very foolish and stupid people. I want to say very stupid because there's no other explanation for why you would want to do that to yourself. Big crowd there at Barbie's Car Park in the night. Where are the police? Commissioner of Police, Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben. What's happening in Brick Dam Station? Commander, what's happening there? Good afternoon, Leonard. People are talking about bars being open, but what about the Chinese supermarkets that people gang up and drink at every single day? Yes, one of the many things that we've been talking about also. We don't have any kind of care in this world. We don't have any kind of respect for our people. We don't have any fear. We don't really care what happened to our mother or father, the less fortunate, the vulnerable, the older folks in our homes. 2267453. Do we have another caller online? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Did miss that, dear. So it is just about 12 minutes after 2. It is 2267453. I would also want you to send the messages to 6222222. Wherever you are today, I want to say a good day to you. I hope that the rain has eased up somewhat. The office is getting, the studio here is getting a little heated. But whatever it is that you're doing, if you're on the roadway and the rain is falling, I hope that you're taking those precautions. If you're going anywhere, take the necessary COVID-19 precaution. Wear your mask. Make sure that you are washing your hands. And so I did go to the mall yesterday. I had to pick up some few things very quickly at the Giftland Mall. And I did notice, I paid very close attention. You can't enter one of the little stores that you have there because they are demanding that you wash your hands or put on the sanitizer, as well as you have to wear a mask. And of course, if you enter in there, they check your temperature and so on. So that's what we have. 2267453. Do you have a call online there? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I just want to highlight an issue about Kaburi mission in the Pomeroon River.
Kaburi?
Kaburi.
Yes, somebody did send something there, yes.
In Region 2.
Yes.
They went and shared the cash grant is either Thursday or Friday.
Uh-huh.
And some people did not get any money. I mean, like single household without double family or living in the area. They
Somebody said that they run out of money or something?
Yes.
And did they go back?
No, they had to fill out this pink form.
All right, but they're not supposed. The pink form is only if I'm gonna have to find out.
The pink form is only if more than one person living in the house.
Well, maybe they had to take out. They had to fill out somewhere that this family did not get. So probably they use the pink form there. I'm gonna raise this issue here with somebody that I know in the Ministry of Finance, and then maybe I could give you a feedback tomorrow what that person says.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, my dear. So you calling all the way from there, from Region 2?
No, my mother called me yesterday and informed me because there you don't get no internet service, you don't get no phone service. You get phone here, but you have to go to a certain
I know.
spot.
Right.
So you can't really get. If I want to call her now, I can't do that. She has to call me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you very much for that, ma'am. I do commit to raising this issue. I've already made a note of it. And I'm going to raise this issue and get back to you tomorrow on it.
Okay, then. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, dear. In Monday, let me see. The traffic lights at the Dorman Loizo Road is not working for over a year. When will the relevant authority fix it? Good question. When will the relevant authority fix it? I'm going to send this message to the Ministry of Public Works. Good afternoon, sir. I'd like the police to patrol in the morning from 4:45 a.m. Diamond Public Road to Farm. There's 3 men riding with cutlass and robbing people. I get robbed this morning. Wow, this happened every morning. Do we know that? But I'm going to have to send this to... I'm going to send this to one of the persons that I know at the police station. Maybe they could put some patrols out there. I'd like to get these people off the road. It's not a good thing. So, in the meantime, 2267453. Do we have another caller on line? Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Yes, Leonard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'd be very grateful if the officials at the Demerara Harbor Bridge listening. You know, this morning about 4:30, I couldn't be talking to you. From the west end coming up to the high span, it appears it's some truck with the stump aisle from the west end coming up to the high span. Is aisle right through, my brother? Aisle, and then it's raining. Oh boy!
You were riding a bike?
No, I was on a motorbike.
Oh my, that's
Yeah,
my
right
day.
there.
I fell long one time on the Harbor Bridge. I had a little 100, I think 110. And I was riding that bike and there was some spillage of oil and it's very dangerous. And if it's rain, it's doubly dangerous.
And this thing is a long time, this thing going on, you know.
Uh-huh.
Very long time. I'd be very grateful if they could hear and do something before something happened to somebody. It might even themselves.
So you want them to probably pay close attention to the oil spillage?
I don't know what they will do, but somebody got to do something.
All right.
Now, another thing. Citizens Bank at New Amsterdam. The same oil thing, there's a security vehicle, GB vehicle. Use that bank there for different purposes. And the stump again, the oil. This Marina lady, I suspect that she's an expectant mother. Slide on the oil area. I don't know. People got to be very careful with the machine. Years ago, people used to be putting walk on the cardboard. They know that the stump leaking, put the cardboard under there. But they can't be going about this coloring people entrance to the bank, you know.
Yes, I hear what you're saying there. Thank you very much.
And another thing, Bobby's River Bridge. I see like they stop the checking at the people now, man. This COVID thing, check like it stop.
I asked the Inspector General to be on here. He told me he's going to be out of town. This is Dr. Vishwa Mahadio. He says this is from the Ministry of Health. And so he's prepared to come on the show. This is one of the many things that I'd have to ask him why they stopped it.
Leonard, we're talking about engineer for a tongue. I saw you come, I don't know if you went up to the market Saturday, but it's a pity that you come in New Amsterdam. I don't know if they have an engineer, but Pitt Street, there's a lot of business people doing construction and so on, blocking up the drain body. If you see what's going on there. If you see what's going on there, and it's right under the nose of the town hall.
All right.
Under the nose of the town hall.
We're gonna have to deal with that somehow. Maybe I'd probably have to ask the New Amsterdam mayor or somebody there, and let's talk about the New Amsterdam.
Yes, and one last thing. Nobody talking about the nurses getting damaged at the mental hospital. Everybody's talking about this and that. But my brother, that end there is very serious. I don't know where risk councils get to risk themselves there. Something needs to be looked into there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, dear. And so you are tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. You could also get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And we are talking to our people in Guyana right now. And of course, every single day, we have many of them tuned in on our Kaieteur Facebook page. And there's such a wonderful bunch of people. Bibi Shabira, Abdu, right now they are there. And Barkley, Gina Singh, Pam Singh. I'm just calling these names. If I'm missing you, just forgive me. Gail Bacchus. Let me see who else is on here. And Rita Jagmohan. And there's so many others. Andrew Omar, they're constantly tuned in, locked in here. Karen Smith, how you doing? Ann Barkley. And if I'm repeating, you guys just forgive me. I'm just going Inti Muhammad. So I hope that you guys, Susan Martin. We go back to our lines again. Do we have another caller? Good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Ahmed.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, pleasant good afternoon to you, Mr. Gildari.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you today?
Pretty good, man. Go right ahead.
That's good to hear. I would like to pick your brain. If I am occupying a plot of state land that belongs to, if I'm occupying a plot of state land that belongs to the state, now can a citizen come and move you off of the state land, or does the government have to come and remove you if they have use of the land?
Well, I'm not sure. If you go take it, why would a citizen have any right to remove you? I mean, if especially if that person is also occupying state land illegally, or maybe in some ways that might not have the necessary authority. That resident has no status or no kind of, legal standing. I think a lawyer might be able to tell you a little more, but I think it's only the government or somebody. And even the government, if you're there and you are contesting that maybe you would have been in it. They passed a law a couple years back which talks about, if you're there, I think it's called prescriptive rights. You can't have prescriptive rights.
Let me just educate you a little. In 2009, under the Jaguar administration, they passed a legislation in the parliament that periodically no one cannot apply for state land by a prescriptive cycle.
Yes.
It is passed by law. The problem that I would like to have a word with you to give you a story to run in your papers or your news. I don't know how I could get contact with you personally. Please, can you do something? This is my number. Can you give me a call after the program?
Or you give me a call. Give me a call like about 5 o'clock time or so. Just call through the switchboard and they're going to give it to you.
Call the switchboard after 5?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, my brother. You have a blessed day, and I'll give you a good story to carry with tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Good, bye-bye. And so even on the program here also, you would have people tuning in to us here telling you what to buy. Invest your $200 and profit will be 25. Abu, how the hell you got a thing there? I think 910. They want us to go in a Ponzi scheme. Talking about Ponzi scheme, I wonder what's happening. There's been a lot of quiet things happening there. Have anybody received their money? Are they receiving returns? What is happening to the people? $17,000. There's been a lot of silence there. There's been silence there. I did block Abu Abdu or whatever it is. He's trying to sell. The Ponzi scheme to our people here, and I'm not sure how they get onto these things. You got to be some way up there they're doing it. 226-7453. I want to get onto those lines. I want to hear from you people today. What's bothering you? Do we have another caller online? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Could you lower the volume on your radio, please?
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
I got a problem by the guy at Gaiwa.
Gaiwa. Yes.
Yeah. 5 weeks now. I live in Grove, opposite the station. We have 2 houses and 1 yard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the front house, they had a leakage in front by the by Kasim, the pipeline. You're right, and the pipe was leaking, and the Gaiwa people then come and look after the pipe, and it's two line. And then I repaired it, but they cut off me, and after this, I ain't get no water.
Did you call them? Did you call them?
Yeah, my husband went in 2 times, and every day my husband got 2 times, and every day we called, and said, I'm coming, and nobody didn't come until now. You say we have patient. I'm a hospital, I got to get a patient.
All right, and do you have access to the other pipe in the yard where you could get some water?
Well, the front was giving me, but how long they gonna give me?
Right. Because I think in most cases here, what GPL and GWI does is that they hire independent contractors and then they give them a list where to go. They want to cut costs, but at the end of the day, you have to wait. Imagine people got to wait. I'm not sure. Could you call the PUC and maybe the PUC could probably try to hustle them up a little?
Okay. Talking to Leonard?
Yes, you are.
Oh, I think you know which you are talking about.
Yes, I know. That's by where the mechanic shop is, I think.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So, good day to you wherever you are. We are tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and it is going to be a very packed week for us. We are going to try to bring on a couple of those people, start talking to them. We need to have our officials answer and tell us what is happening. Hi, good afternoon, sir. Just informing you that at the Saudi hospital, there's no insulin. In a while now, I'm a diabetic patient. Tuesday, I was there for treatment, no insulin. I had to purchase 1 bottle for $4,000. It make 2 bottles that I purchased. Now, it's difficult. Can you see what you could do? I'm from Supernam. I'm going to send this again. Keep sending it to these people here. I'm not sure what is happening. How we allow things like this to happen? If you got to buy it and you got to keep it, how do you allow yourself to run down? And the people got to be complaining over and over and over again. There's another one here. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildere. I know times are hard for many families during these difficult times. I'm not disputing this, but I can't understand how some people are crying out about how things are hard, but yet they're finding money to go sport in these rum shops and bars and way past the curfew too. And then people are having big barbecue and birthday party and so on. They don't even wear masks and are not practicing social distancing. I don't know what to say to you there, my friend. I don't really know what to say because when it really aches me that I think that what we should be fighting for, what we should be doing, we waste time. We get up every day. Let's have a nice time today. It's government. Somebody was explaining how the government works. It's supposed to be looking after the will of the people. But when they go in there, they start looking after the will of themselves. It's a different thing. We should be fighting, making sure that the authorities, the NDCs, the GWI, the GPL, the GT&T start we got to be fighting them every single day. Open your mouth big, because when you're paying for a service and you're getting a 6 for a 9, then you have an issue. And that's what we've been getting for a long time. Nobody was paying attention. If you get a good service, you're happy. If you don't get a good service, you complain, but you don't complain about the fact that you still have to put your hands in your pocket and pay. So they collecting money on the false pretense because that's exactly what it is. So we go back to our lines again, 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. Did miss that call there. We will be joining you for that. Let me see what they have here again. It's heartbreaking, the dialysis situation in Guyana. Dialysis costs between 12,000 to 15,000 a session. We're supposed to have 3 sessions per week. That's staggering $180, 1,000 per month. And a lot of people don't work that. I could tell you about that. The government does not pay for any other than the initial 24 session. Then when you're forced diagnosed. After that, you're on your own without that kind of friends and amazing family members. I've been able to pay for 2 sessions a week for the past 3 years. Many of them are not as lucky as I am. At my clinic, I know of a lady from Pomeroon who does only do 1 week. It costs her 3 times the amount to go to treatment and return home. Another one lives in Linden, and his wife has to drive 3 times a week from Linden to Georgetown. Another lady could not afford dialysis and now has to live at GPHC so she could do the inpatient treatment they offer. Does that make sense? The doctors at the dialysis center, the GPHC, have said that the hospital does not have the resource to give treatment to all chronic kidney disease patients. The center has 68 machines. The person on dialysis number under 400 persons. NIS is a big headache. My fellow patients who does get NIS benefit would tell how difficult it is to deal with NIS. Many persons do not have NIS in their normal housewives, farmers, students, and younger persons who now have all the requirements, would not have all the requirements for benefits. It's a real life and death situation, since without dialysis we die. I hope the new government would be able to help. And I read all this because it's long, but it's important to somebody who is affecting them and their family. And as the person said, 400 dialysis patients. We need regional dialysis center. Only GT and Berbice have centers currently. We need free and subsidized dialysis. Well, we have the money. We have the money right out there, and our oil. We just got to ask for it. We have to demand it. We need actual doctors to see us on our clinic days. We need to see the right medication, and supply does not run out. Very crucial medication runs out on a regular basis. With our newfound oil wealth, I hope they'll be able to address these issues. But all begins with educating masses of kidney disease with counselors, trained social workers, and advocates. The patient and the support system need to be informed. I've lost too many friends in my battle begin. I do not wish to lose more. Help us. Thank you very much. This is such a heartfelt something, and I had to read that. Good afternoon. I'm from St. Cuthbert's Mission. We have a sudden outbreak of the COVID-19, and the Tush House still allowing outsiders in and out of the village. Thank you very much for that. We are going to look into it. Let me take this so we could be able to probably call that person and get some details there. All right, thank you very much there. Do we have a call, or we take a break right now? And when we are back, we're going to hit the phone lines once again.
I'm Vindhyavasini Prasad, Minister of Human Services and Social Security. I'm a passionate believer in creating opportunities for the vulnerable and persons who are in dire need of providing for their families. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has been inundated with requests from people for jobs, help, and support. I know COVID-19 has made your lives difficult and you're struggling to make ends meet. We want to help. If you know how to sew, you can earn from every mask that you make and package. All you need is a sewing machine and fabric. Join the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Garment and Accessories Cottage Initiative and make thousands of masks to supply various entities. Simply fill out an application which is available on our ministry's website, or uplift an application from any of the ministries or Regional Democratic Council offices countrywide. For more information, contact Himwanti Lagan on 672-1653 or via email hlagan136@gmail.com.
So thank you very much, and welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. And we did have some viewers all the way from Toronto, Canada. I want to say good day to you. And the person did say that we had some white stuff. Good afternoon, Leonard. Keep up the good works. We had some white stuff last night in Toronto. Isn't it a little early? Just the beginning of November. Is it a signal of things to come? Is it going to be a very brutal winter? Well, lots of snow there in Toronto there. I hope that you guys are staying safe. Whenever the cold weather comes on, it comes with the flu and so on. Get yourself flu shots, whatever it is, and beef yourself up with the vitamin C. You have to do that. Use a lot of vitamin C. One of the things as a COVID-19, I was positive for COVID-19 a couple of weeks back, and what I've continuously did in the beginning, coming out back while I did not have the other breathing problems and so on, I was very tired very quickly. I did work through without any break while I was at home in self-isolation. But what I did was use a lot of vitamin C, those tablets there. I drink a lot of juice, a lot of water. Every day I do about 2 or 3 bottles a day. I do a lot of tea, coffee, whatever it is, a lot of liquid into the system. And what I found that in all my years, or within the last 5-6 years, how I feel right now in terms of strength, in terms of capacity to do more things, I feel very, very strong right now. So I think for me, the vitamin C has been working wonders, lots of liquid into the system. So I hope that you guys are doing the same thing. Maybe if you can't afford vitamin C, the tablets, get some vitamin C from lime and just make some swank, whatever it is. Swank is a wonderful drink. I don't drink soda. It is going to be very rare. I got to be very thirsty and there's nothing else wrong that I would drink soda. But I do like swank. I do like Moby. There's so many good things that we have here. I like peanut punch. I like local peanut punch. So let us, let us see how we could keep ourselves protected there. Do we have another caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Leonard.
Yes.
You know what I'm calling to find out? When is this I get through here to them. When is it that this $25,000 COVID money can be distributed?
Where are you calling from?
Georgetown.
Well, they say that as the next place that they're going to come, they want to finish off. I think they're in Region 2 right now. They're some parts, they finished some parts of Region 10. I think there's still some part. They want 2 areas they haven't finished yet. But I was told yesterday by one of the players, one of the persons involved, that Georgetown, parts of East Bank and so on, they're starting with next.
Mm-hmm.
So I presume it could be as early. Yes.
No.
Could you lower your volume on your radio, please? It's for feeding us back.
TV down from earlier. Drop the TV volume, please. I'm getting a feedback.
Yeah.
Why is it that now, I lower the volume right down,
Yes.
that they give this okay to open up certain places? Now, you have a place like Palm Court. They got this hotel on Church Street. Sleeping, all these places, open up. Full Palm Court gate open up, broad. You can walk in and walk out. And the small shops, those people lock up since before election and after election up to now. Remember, they got to make a living. One of them told me they like bills come now up to now. $50,000 she's got to pay. How these people going to live? They got to earn a living. If you get into the point what I'm saying.
Yes, of course.
How are they making a living? This shop just locked all the time. I think they should use some sort of consideration with them. Because if the bigger boys, them could open up their place, why is it that these small people who depends, and some of them have mortgage, some of them have to meet if you rent the shop for $200,000 a month, you got to find the money and pay the landlord up to now. What is the position there with that?
All right. But I hear what you're saying there, and that's a question that we have to ask.
It needs to be addressed.
I'm going to, yeah, you see one of the things, one of the ways, just before you go, one of the possibilities that we could look at. I was a couple of weeks back, I think it was the little girl, we took her out to dinner because she had just passed her exam, so she wanted to go out. And we said, okay, I couldn't find any other place except at, I think, Movie Tongue. and they had you outside, and they were social distancing, meaning the tables are far apart. And I felt a little safe there.
Yeah, but
I
you
think,
make a good point.
Right.
What I'm saying is that if you give them a chance, you tell them, listen, I give you up at 10 in the morning, I wouldn't give you out at 10, 13 in the night.
No, but you understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying also is that you could have these places open, but
social distance.
Social distancing. Social
Far
distancing. Right. That's what and you have to think it, because if you go into, like, I went to a coffee shop, I did say that. I went to a coffee shop, they said, please come outside, you cannot drink your coffee in here against the regulation.
Yeah.
Which I thought was stupid. There was nobody else in the place. But guess what? That's the rules.
Anyway, Leonard, thank you so much.
I thank you, my brother. I thank you for raising those points.
The application that I told you about at housing,
yes,
I actually got through to it.
Oh, great, great.
You understand? So that's why I didn't bother you back with it. But I was just Thursday I was trying to get on to you to get this part straightened up.
No. It is an issue because a lot of people complaining about the unfair, the not so level playing field that they have against the big businesses, and you did mention a couple of them there. All right?
Leonard.
I hear what you
say.
say.
I'm very pleased if you could get into it and help those people, because some of them have rent to pay, some have mortgage. You understand me? Thank you so much.
God bless you. Good. Bye-bye. So you're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here, and let me see very quickly some messages that are coming in from our people. And yes, we do happen to have it here because of the high number of positive tests we've been getting. Our school district is back to 100% online learning. And when we're talking online learning, I thank you very much, and that's coming some way from the U.S. there. When we're talking online learning, a lot of people think that it's actually video to video. It's a difficult thing. The teachers are talking to you like as if you're on the phone. They're using the voices. And so you're not actually seeing the teacher. Many places don't do the teachers. I'm not sure what about the other school. I could tell you about my kids because I pay attention. So you have the WhatsApp, there's on speaker there, and they're listening. If the kids are fortunate to maybe have a headphone or so, they could use that as well. And the teacher's talking, so you're not actually seeing the teacher. So that's doubly, the teachers could probably say, if you're using Zoom, to please put on a video, but there's a lot of bandwidth that is pulling there. But it is, what you're talking is just listen to somebody drone on and on and on, and they can't be able to see you in some cases. So it's a big issue that we're talking about there when it comes to online schooling. Thank you very much for that. Let me see. There's another one here. Hi, good afternoon. I'm from an Esquimalt course. I would like to reach Mr. Glenn Lall. I need some assistance to do my surgery. Can you please tell me when and where I may be able to reach him? You could probably call on the office line 225-8491, and maybe they could probably hook you up to him. 225-8491 caller. So that is it with regards to the messages. 226-7453. Are we tuned in right now? Do we have a call online? Yes, good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. I think we lost it. Do we have it? Yeah, we did lose that caller online there. We're going to go back. 226-7453. We have a very serious problem in Matry Village, number 6th Street. Where we have young men raping people, robbing, my apologies here, robbing people in the night. This is in Matry, where is it? Matry Village, 6th Street. I'm not sure, Matry Village, where's Matry Village? My apologies, you got to tell me a little more details there. 226-7453. Do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller, you're on the air, go right ahead. Hello? Hello? Yes. If you call him, please lower your volume down on your radio, and you got through. Just lower your volume and make sure that you're ready for us to go. 226-7453. Do we have a caller in the air? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I have a problem with the Demerara Bridge in the morning. When they have the double lane, the double lane, the police allow certain individuals to use the old road. When you ask to talk about it, tell about them as government officials, which in that is not true. They allow their friends and family to use express lane.
So that's if you're coming from the Lagrange area.
If you come from Lagrange area, or that some of them is coming from the Paprika side.
And they go until there and use it?
Yes, and they pass and they use the old road.
Oh, so right about now, let me see if I get you right. If you're on the west bank of Demerara, that road there is only restricted to government officials and
yes, the old road.
Right,
but
I know.
The police allow any other body, as long as the friends and the family, to pass through.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
And when you tell the inspector, you tell about his government official.
Thank you very much for that, my brother.
I have a picture on my phone where you check out them doing it.
All right, what you need to do, send it to me. Send it to me,
Okay.
62222.
Yes.
So that number there, and there we are going to get it. Thank you very much, my brother. So people have been complaining about some of the attitude of some of the policemen there. The western end of the Demerara Harbour Bridge is saying they're allowing that old road there that they used to use as an express lane in the morning. They make it one way and they allow, if you come in from the west bank, and that if you are a high priority vehicle, maybe a government official vehicle, maybe your ambulance, whatever it is, to use that road there. Because what you used to have happen in the past is that vehicle used to come through that road, come through the normal road, the access road from the Harbour Bridge that leads to the West Bank Road there. And there was a problem with the bottleneck being created there. So they stopped, they halted the traffic. But now they're allowing any Tom, Dick, and Harry as long their friends to get along there. So good afternoon, sir. Okay, 3 persons get robbed on Little Diamond Road, Public Road for the past weekend. Thank you very much, sir. And this was a man who was complaining that the 3 men riding with a cutlass and robbing people on the East Bank Road within the farm area in the Diamond Public Road to farm. They're up and down, up and down. I'm going to raise this issue here with the officials. Very disappointed that the list prepared by the NDC should be used by persons distributed the grant. Many persons were home and were not given the grants. And so this is an issue also that we'd have to raise with officials. I'm going to have to make a double effort right now to have somebody. Hopefully tomorrow I can have the Inspector General of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Vishwa Mahadio, and somebody from the Ministry of Finance to tell us about some of the issues that they are experiencing, or rather what people are experiencing and how they are being addressed. And if so, if somebody did not receive, at what forum would they be able to raise those concerns or those complaints with? So those are the things that we'd want to do that. So I want to say welcome to everybody who tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and wherever you join us from, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure dealing with you. We have roughly about 10-15 minutes thereabout. We are going to be heading back to the lines again. Good afternoon, caller, you on the air? Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air? Go right ahead. Good afternoon. Yeah, could you speak up a little? We're hearing you very low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Concerning decriminalization of marijuana, I'm very much against it. I think it's a bad idea for Guyana at this point in time. Where we live in this area, a lot of marijuana users. You know, when they carried a bill to Parliament in the previous administration and they talked about decriminalization, the youth in the streets use it as a term that marijuana legalized, and they abuse it. And to me, I see a lot of health concern out of it from these youth. They are dropped out from school. They don't have jobs, and they just line the streets, smoke marijuana. And that grounds, I think, is a bad for Guyana at this point in time.
Well, it's something. Thank you very much for that. That's a very important issue there. And so what that caller there would have raised there is basically Guyana has been grappling with it. It was an issue for the elections 2020. I think just similar to other places as well. What do you do with the issue of marijuana? They're a big part of the prison population. As persons who would have been caught with marijuana's quantities and so on, whether it's possession or otherwise. With regard to possession, you are allowed certain amount, I think up to 5 grams. If they catch you, they're going to give you a warning and maybe you pay a fine, but it's not jail. And the idea was for the authorities to reduce the prison population. However, there were also talks about raising, or just, if you're in possession of ganja, you could have a little spliff for smoking purpose, and they're not going to charge you. That's decriminalizing. Among other things, there's some other situations that you look into. You could buy it maybe from licensed places. So what government, I think David Granger, while he was president, was not too enthusiastic about that idea. This government that says they are looking at a number of issues, including, no prison sentences and so on, but at the same time, not outrightly saying that you could buy it legally. If they catch you, there's some things that could be done. Maybe they fine you and there's a criminal record that goes up against you there. But some people are also saying that it's not so much about the marijuana, it's what you mix the marijuana with. Many persons would mix it with all kinds of things from crack right down. And so it's when you have that kind of situation, you see some aggression in people that's unbelievable. So we need to do studies, we need to think about it through. A small country like Guyana, how do you deal with it? Could we commercialize it? Maybe make Guyana, you could be able to do it, and I'm not sure. I'm talking at the top of my head here, but it's something because it seems as if there's a lot of people who for, and then of course equally a lot of people who are against, because they rather believe that it's linked to criminalities within the various communities. A lot of the boys smoke it. Is it so much as the marijuana that they're smoking, or something that they're mixing with the marijuana to give them the real high? And when they get that real high, they do things that they're not in control, and it leads to a lot of tempers, mood swings and so on. We need to think it through, but it's a very good point. In the meantime, 226-7453. Could you go back to another call? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're there. We did. We don't have any caller there right now, but let me see some other messages that are coming in. Yes, we do happen to have some messages. Is it true that we need bicycle license? I'm going to find out a little detail about that. This morning I saw what the caller spoke about the LeGrand Hole Road. All the vehicles that came through there were heavily tinted and none was government vehicle. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to raise this with Commander Watts from the West Demerara area there. I'm going to send him a message this afternoon. Good afternoon, Leonard. Caribbean Airlines had its first direct commercial flight today from Georgetown to Toronto. Kudos to the government for working on that. Thank you very much. We got to be very careful, though. Make sure that we do the necessary tests as we do. We have time to take a couple callers right now. 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Hello. Hello. Yes, if you're calling us, please lower your radio. I know you want to listen. You don't want to miss a thing. But if you know that you're locked in right away, get somebody take down that radio volume right down. It's going to send us a feedback right here. Do you have a caller in the line there again? Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. So we don't happen to have one there. And so what is it that you need to do today? Want to hear you guys. Let's gather those information. Like I'm going to be speaking to the officials in the Ministry of Finance immediately after the show, as well as sending them all those issues raised today. Some interesting issues, marijuana among other things. I think our people are getting very serious when it comes to the protection of this land, protection of your assets, your oil resources, that you get in the right among, that we're doing the right things, that we should get a fair deal. These are things that you got to start ticking in your head. Just like if you're overseas and you're thinking about your 401k plans, you're thinking about what happens after you retire, you're thinking about mortgage and the interest rate, you're thinking about the policies of the U.S. government. At the same time, right across here, let's start getting ourselves educated. Education means that you're aware of what is happening. Education means that you could tell your NDC, no. This is not what we voted for you for. We want you to provide the service, and you're obligated to do that. If you don't do that, we're going to take it to the next level. And you happen to have some options to those next level very quickly. What are some of those options? You have Facebook, you have social media, you have the letters to the editor, you have options of writing to your ministers that are in charge here, you have options of writing to your council people, to your parliamentarians. Start using them. What are they doing? Are they going to parliament collecting the duty-free concession? Write to your parliamentarians. There's so many of them who are not ministers that are sitting there. Both sides of the divide. They could be able to represent you, or at least raise these issues. That is what they're there for. So in the meantime, let's go right back to the line. 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Gulari.
It is.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon. Could you lower your volume on your radio right away, please?
It's not the radio, it's a phone.
It's a phone. Go right
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling all the way from Crabwood Creek.
Oh, good day to you, sir.
Yeah, good day. And we have a problem with the farmers. I included myself, right? Now, we farmers who are planting our cash crop, we not normally use an old bike, a motorcycle, an old motorcycle,
Uh-huh.
right, to get into our farm, right?
Mhm.
And in most cases, these bike, sometimes it doesn't have a
Papers.
papers and these kind
Uh-huh.
of, right? It's not nothing harris. And sometimes you just take a little chance because something come out late, and these kind of things. But it comes to a practice now where the patrolling police them that patrolling in the night, right? It's like they come into a practice, they targeting us, right? We come out from our farm late at night with our muddy clothes, nothing. They stop us, question us, thing. They ain't find nothing illegal, nothing. Throw the bike in the vehicle, thing, the person from like the next day you gotta go back in the background. So I don't know if some authority could look.
All right, let
into
me address that right there and then. The first thing is that I think farmers and so I think I would have to check back the list, but I'm almost sure that farmers fall somewhere along the line of essential workers. That's one. So you could be on the road for a little while as long as you can prove to them that you're farmers. The second thing is you have to ensure, and this is Gil Larry talking to you now, you have to ensure that all your bikes, all your vehicles, are there equipped with the necessary paperwork. If you don't do that, I cannot tell you, because if the police catch you, they have the right. They're not going to see with you unless you find some reasonable one. They are going to do that. So I understand what you're saying because you're farmers, but there's no exception to the rule when it comes to paperwork for those bikes.
I understand that, but
Uh-huh.
it comes, and let me put it in a way that so they could understand.
Right.
They know that we come out from the farm with we muddy skin, we lunch bag, we spray can. They know that we come out from the farm, right? Probably 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the night or whatever the case may be. And it's like it comes to now they're targeting us. Like they know the special time that these special people coming out from the farm,
Uh-huh.
and this is the time they patrol.
I'm going to talk to the commander in Berbice. I'm going to ask him to please engage the farmers and maybe they could have an understanding. Look, you need to do this. We will do this. And maybe would that help in some way?
Yes, it would be great if you could.
I'm going to
address
do that. I'm going to ask for the commander in Berbice and I'm going to, maybe you guys could make contact with him or his office there in New Amsterdam. And maybe he could probably get on to you and maybe as the sub-district, because in Berbice it's a big place. He doesn't have to come there, but they could be the different police stations who might be in charge of the Crabwood Creek area there could probably be able to address that. Let me talk to him and then maybe you could get on to him and then he could tell you how to move from there.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from there. So I think we are down to program time. It's the Wake Up Guyana show. It was a wet day out there. It was it's whenever it's a little wet, sometimes the sinus start acting up, and it was very uncomfortable for me today. But of course, as always, it's been a pleasure getting onto our people. Tomorrow, we're working to get onto our show here. The Inspector General of the Ministry of Health, this is Dr. Vishwa Mahadio, as well as we're going to ask maybe somebody from the Ministry of Finance to talk about COVID-19, that cash help, that cash grant. Let's see how that goes. In the meantime, all my good folks here on behalf of Kaieteur Radio and its team, as well as Kaieteur Newspaper, to all Guyanese who've tuned in to us today, I hope that we've been able to keep you abreast what is happening, to make you more aware. We've been able to uplift your spirits. And whatever you do, don't forget that you're all Guyanese. You have a responsibility to protect this beautiful land of ours. You have a responsibility to protect yourselves, your family. Do not do anything that is going to contravene. Do not do anything that is going to endanger your family. Your family is the number one. I didn't say friends. I say family. Let's start there. So whatever you do not follow the crowd. As I say, do not have the herd mentality, do everything like everybody is doing. You start doing what is the correct thing. In the meantime, this is the Wake Up Guyana Show. Your host, Leonard Gildari. If you missed it, you could tune in to the Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio update. I think it was Kaieteur. Yes, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And we will be back here tomorrow, same place, same time. Let's bring some surprises to you. We're going to step it up a little now. We have, without a very long time, not been inviting anybody really. That is because we were waiting, the government settling in now. So we're going to step it up a little. We need to hear from those folks. What are you doing? There were some promises. Let us see what you've been doing. What have you done over the last couple of months? And I know they're working hard, but we still need to hear from them. Have a pleasant rest of the day until.
COVID-19 tips sponsored by Dex Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Dex Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Dex Soap for that extra cleanliness. Dex Soap is affordable and available nationwide.
Weak systems of governance and the absence of the rule of law both combine